Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you guys who are new, my name is Natalie and I run a stationery shop called Doodlesntea. On this channel, I have a series called Chit Chat with Nat, which is basically me sharing with you guys my experiences with certain topics so that you guys can learn from my specific interactions with these things. Today, I wanted to talk about imposter syndrome because I was pretty surprised to find out how many people didn't know about imposter syndrome or the whole terminology of imposter syndrome. And at the same time, I'm pretty sure this is something that most of us are experiencing or have gone through or are going through. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about is explaining what is imposter syndrome. So imposter syndrome is basically that feeling that you get inside that's telling you that you're not good enough or that you are a fraud. You can also feel like you don't deserve the position you're in based off the skills that you have. So this could apply to things like your social status or your work position. And some of the common side effects are self-doubt, you beat yourself up over your performance, and simply just feeling like you're never going to reach your expectations. And it becomes a really vicious cycle because even if someone tells you you're doing good or results show that you are in fact doing good, you still think you're not good enough, or you feel like the results were just based off of luck. Some people start experiencing imposter syndrome because of critiques that they've received in the past, and you can experience imposter syndrome in any field in life. But for today, I'm going to be sharing specifically on the creative arts field just because that is what I've experienced for a good chunk of my life. So I don't know how many of you guys actually know this, but I majored and graduated in animation. And during the same time, I took a lot of graphic design electives because I knew that I also liked graphic design, but not as much as animation, and I needed credits anyways. And I have very vivid memories of the days that our projects are due because I also pretty much had the same professor for the 3 years that I did that degree. Basically, to paint a picture for you guys of what it felt like, when you get to class, and our classroom was filled with cork boards on 3 of the walls. When you get there, you would go get some pins from the prof's desk, and you would have to pin up your project on any area of the cork boards. And for the next 2 hours, class was basically a critiquing class. Basically what happens was that everyone would be in a group, and we'd start from one side of the classroom and go all the way to the other side. And if it was your project there, you would have to go up and explain why you came up with that design, what you're trying to show. And after you're done explaining, it was an open floor for anyone in the class to critique you. And basically during this time, any of your classmates can say things to you, good or bad. And real talk, some of the students can get really savage. Like, I remember there was this one guy who was presenting his project, and when it got to the time for the classmates to give him critique, I remember there was this one guy who straight up looked at him and just said, "It looks like you made that using MS Paint." And everyone in the class was like, oh my gosh, it was dead silence, you did not just say that to somebody. Honestly, I feel like at that moment, even the prof didn't know what to say because he kind of just sat there and was like, anyone else have something to say? So yeah, sometimes those evaluations get pretty brutal, and once the classmates are done with their critiques, that's when the professor comes. So it's like 2 rounds of critiques. It just felt like this very nerve-wracking feeling of literally waiting for judgment. And I understand that in the creative field especially, you need to be able to handle critique. I understand that that is a thing. But it doesn't help when you're just a student starting out and you're already questioning if you even belong there. Another example would be right now, running my shop. There's so many other shops that I look at that are making things that I wish that I could do. And because you see them making either so many nice designs or so many different products, you can't help but think, why am I even trying when there are shops like that that exists. And with that, I wanted to share with you guys a tweet that an artist posted just a couple days before I wrote this script. I'm gonna pull it up on Twitter, and if you guys don't know of Tableau from Epic High, I highly recommend you guys check out Epic High's music in general, and honestly Tableau's Twitter, because he writes really deep and profound lyrics, but also writes really funny tweets to answer fans' questions. And I'll leave a screenshot over here as well as I'm reading this, but this is what he said when a fan asked him how to deal with imposter syndrome. So in his tweet, he says, "This is a weird analogy, but if you're hungry and happen to be eating a fairly good slice of pizza, would it matter that there are literally millions of pizza slices out there that are better? Would you refrain from eating until you found the very best slice? Enjoy the slice you got." I feel like so often we're chasing things that we don't have instead of looking at the things that we do have. The position you have at work or the grade that you got in your project was well earned because of your own hard work. I feel like if we constantly downplay ourselves and not acknowledge that, we're actually better than we think, that you're just gonna spiral down imposter syndrome and get stuck really deep. I mentioned this in a couple videos ago, but art is very subjective, and art is meant to make people think when they look at it. Not everyone is going to like the same piece of art or the same style, and I think that's one of the really beautiful things about art. Like I said in the other video, if you never put your art out there, you're never going to find the people who like it if you feel like the world is just filled with people who are going to hate it. For me, in the graphic design field, I still do commissions sometimes, and I'm not gonna lie, I still feel very nervous when giving the commission to my clients. I still feel like my art isn't on par with a lot of other graphic designers, and because of that, I'm always afraid that they're not gonna like it. But after doing quite a handful of commissions, no one has ever told me, "I hate it, your art sucks," whatever. And in fact, they give very positive feedback. And over time, as you start doing more commissions, you start putting yourself out there a bit more, it will get a bit easier. As for all the shops out there, I'm pretty sure at some point, they're probably still feeling imposter syndrome as well. You can look at them and they're making like thousands of sales a month, but I'm pretty sure there's still a tiny bit of imposter syndrome that they're feeling. And at some point, they were just like me and you, starting their business and not knowing where it's gonna go. The harsh truth is that there's always going to be someone who is better than you. But it's what we do with that mentality that either breaks us or motivates us to do better. Instead, seeing someone who has such a successful shop motivates me to see the potential and how many people in this world actually enjoy stationery shops. So I want you guys to believe in yourself and to motivate yourself to keep going. There will be moments where imposter syndrome feels a bit stronger, but during those times, it's okay to take a break. It's okay to take a step back, but don't let that stop you completely. If you guys found this video helpful, don't forget to give this video a like and to subscribe to this channel for more content like this in the future. We're always going to be our own biggest critics, and I think it's just important that we all support each other so that we can get through those slumps. If you guys have experienced imposter syndrome yourself, or have now discovered this term of imposter syndrome, share your experiences in the comments so that we can each learn from each other's experiences and also share how you moved on. I want the comment section to be a very uplifting community. That's always what I say in the ends of my videos. So don't forget to share your experiences over there. And with that, I hope you guys are taking care of yourself and staying safe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!